Hey there, YouTube. Cheers. That's high quality H2O. Hope that everyone is doing well. Excuse me. It's Sunday, November 5th. Years just flying by. Hope that everyone is doing very well. Taking care of yourselves and each other. I just thought I'd come with a recent vinyl finds for the last, 2-3 weeks. I've made a handful of trips over to the record store. Thought I would just show some of them. So again, thank you so much. I hope that everyone is doing well out there. Challenging times, but we're gonna be okay. So let's just get into it. The first one, this Velvet Underground featuring Nico. This is a reissue. The original pressing is, I'm sure you all know, is super expensive. But this was, I bought this new sealed $35. I thought it was well worth it. Got posters, I think, and stickers, what have you. I was trying to fish out the record out of here. When I buy new stuff, this is a gatefold, but I just leave the shrink on there. But it's the blue Verve label. It's got you take the shrink, it's got this banana on here. I think if you peel it, it's a pink banana underneath there. At least that's what it was when I looked online. But a really great album. This was, of course, their debut album. For those who don't know, this cover was very controversial at the time, in the sense that whatever this celebrity is, I don't even remember what his name was, but I guess the band used his image on the back without his consent. He sued the record company, and so they recalled the record eventually, and then they put, I think it was a black or white sticker on the back cover to cover that photo, and then once the album was reissued, they just designed a new cover for it. But original pressings of these, especially with that original cover, cost thousands of dollars that I don't have to spend on a record. But it was $35 well spent, and I was glad to have it. I only had that album on CD. There's a lot of great stuff on that record, and just to have it on vinyl, I'm very pleased. Trying to make this quick, I do have a larger pile. The Last Poets. This is an original pressing on the Douglas label. This album is really hard to find. I was so glad to get it. It was $25 in mint condition, and it plays wonderfully. And records, the cost of records have gone up so much. And when I bought this, I remember seeing this sometimes at record stores when in the early '90s, and it would be maybe $10, and I just didn't buy it. I didn't really even understand the music and listen to it until I got older. And so now, as this is the first time I've ever had this on vinyl. I don't have it on CD. And so when I buy records that I had seen years and years ago, 20, 30 years for next to nothing, and now they're so expensive, I just get a little upset with myself. But, I didn't know. We do the best that we can. A little Al Green. Green is blue. I have this album, but it was just in a plain 12-inch sleeve with no cover and just a record. And so I got this for $10. really great condition, and so I was happy to get it. One Woman, his version of My Girl on here, his version of I Stand Accused, Tomorrow's Dream are just some of the favorite songs on here that I like on that album. That wasn't one of his, uh, most commercially successful records, but to me it was a good record. I've had the copy that I have now for a number of years, and I enjoyed listening to it over the years. And so now that I get it with the cover, I am just tickled pink. The next one, Herbie Hancock Sound System. I was so this came out in '84. I want to say this was the follow up to Future Shock, which that is a great album. I actually I only had that on CD for a long time. I just found it on vinyl this summer. I had it on vinyl when it came out, and I don't know what happened to it over the years. And I'm pretty sure I got it sometime in the '90s, but I just can't find it anymore. This album, it's okay. I was disappointed. It's nowhere near on that same level of Future Shock. There were just a couple of songs. Karabali, I want to say Junku are the two songs down here that I like. And People Are Changing is okay. I was really disappointed with this. It was just a $3 record. It's in really great shape in the shrink. But, I still got three songs that I liked. But I am a huge Herbie Hancock fan. Usually his albums, from the jazz stuff on Blue Note in the 60s to his stuff in the 70s on Columbia. Usually his albums are, I just really like pretty much everything on there. And so this one going in mid 80s, I was disappointed, but again, it wasn't that expensive. And I'm still glad that I got it. Little Leonard Skinner, Nothing Fancy. This is a 1982 or 3 reissue of this album, still in the shrink. I have an original, but this is in much better shape. This has that 80s MCA label on it, and so I got a good deal on it, $3 to upgrade my copy. I'll still keep the original on that rainbow blue MCA label, but I saw this one and saw an opportunity to upgrade. I'd like to upgrade an original pressing, but this one will do just fine for now. Glad to get it. I bought some 12-inch singles, and so let me just say this. I'm trying to find the top on this one. I went to, it's been probably three weeks ago. I went to a record store that I had never been to. It's been open out here in Northwest Indiana since, I want to say 2018, 2019. I saw the ad in the paper and said, man, I gotta check that out. And I never did. And then so maybe about 3 weeks ago on a Monday, the two primary used record stores in this area that I go to are each closed on Mondays. And so there was this one Monday I just had an itching to go to the record store and look for some records. And so but they were closed, so I decided, well, I'll go to this one. It's not that far away, maybe 15 minutes away. It's over in Hobart, Indiana. I'll try it. And so I went over there, and the prices were just, I thought the prices seemed a little high. Now, what I'll say, and I want to keep this going, but with the two record stores that I primarily go to, their deals are phenomenal. So I never have to check Discogs before buying something there to make sure that I'm getting a fair deal, because all of the deals that I get from my perspective were always fair. So I did buy some records from there. I think I spent maybe $120 or $130, and I didn't really even get that much. And so, long story short, I did go back. I asked, if the owner was there, and the person, it was a young lady, she didn't know much about music, and so she said, no, the owner's not here on Monday. on Sundays and Mondays. You can come back on tomorrow, Wednesday, and he'll be back. And I did go back a couple of days later, probably, and I should have grabbed it. But the greatest crime of that trip was, and I should have grabbed it to show it on here. They had a 12-inch of Billie Jean in a UK sleeve. But what I didn't realize while I was there, just not thinking, was obvious. The label was a U.S. label, and the catalog number was a U.S. number. So essentially, what I thought was an import of Billie Jean, they had like a $17.99 price tag on it, when that's a not even a $10 record. A good clean 12-inch of stock copy of Billie Jean is not even a $10 record. But I did go back and talk to the owner, and I picked out a couple of things. The next time I was there, he did make some deals. He did say that he had another person that was the manager there, and they tend to price stuff on the higher side, and he's still repricing records. But yeah, I haven't been back there since. Probably won't go again anytime soon. But so I bought when I was there. These are some of the 12-inch singles that I bought. Gaz. This is I want to say like a German band, studio musicians. They only have one album, and this song "Sing Sing" is a promo 12-inch, white label 12-inch. It's a nice song. I'd heard it before. I never had it on 12-inch. This was $13.99. I think when I got back and looked it up, median price is not even $10 on this. So they got me on this one. Here's another one that I got when I was there. Eddie Grant, Electric Avenue on a 12-inch single. Time Warpers on the B-side. This one was $10.99. I think the median price is $6 or $7. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I have this on a 45, and I have the album. I'd never had the 12-inch, and I'm thinking, oh, I don't know, maybe there's something about this that it's a little bit pricey, and it was. It's just an ordinary. And now all of these are in great condition. They're not bad, but just overpriced. $11. Yeah. Is that it? Yeah, that's it for the 12-inch singles that I got from there. I did buy some others from there. I just didn't bother to pull them, but yeah, not going back to that used record store in Hobart, Indiana anytime soon. Joe Walsh, There Goes the Neighborhood. I want to say this album came out in 1980. This is a nice record. The first song on here, Things. I really like that. It's soulful, funky. I really like it. And then the rest of the stuff on here is good, but that lead-in song, Things, is absolutely fantastic and a great song, worth it just by itself. This was just $3, and it's in wonderful condition. Trying to keep an eye on the time. This will probably have to be a two-parter. Eric Clapton, No Reason to Cry. This originally came out in the mid-70s. I want to say 75 maybe. The songs on here that I like, I don't remember. I had only heard this album a couple of times, but it was $3. What I have is a reissue. When I looked on Discogs, the reissue doesn't have the year it came out because it's on Polydor. The original pressing was on mid-70s. Of course, all of his stuff at that time was on the RSO label. This on the Polydor label was a probably sometime in the 80s, a reissue. Not sure when. I didn't get a chance to listen to all of this album. I've heard bits and pieces of it before. I got it because of the price. It was a great deal. I think there's only like maybe 3 songs on here that I like, but for $3, it's well worth it. I didn't mind that. A little gospel next. James Cleveland, Down Memory Lane. This was a $3 record. Let It Breathe on Me. He'll Understand and Say Well Done. Search Me, Lord. Lift 'Em Up. are just some of the songs on here that I really like. This was a early 70s issue on the Savoy label. I want to say this came out in 73 or 74. I am a James Cleveland fan. Excuse me. He just has so many. I probably have over 20 James Cleveland albums minimum, and it's the tip of the iceberg of his collection. All right, so keeping going, Boss Skaggs. This is his debut album. This was a real pleasant surprise because this is on the Atlantic label. I found this at one of the record stores I go to in Highland, Indiana. It was in the new arrivals bin. I never knew that Boss Skaggs released an album on the Atlantic label, and it was in 68 or 69. I knew only of his discography on Columbia Records. I think he's always recorded, even, currently today. It might be Columbia, I'm not sure. It's hard, because with music today, unless it's released on vinyl, and I have a physical copy of it, the stuff that I even listen to, hard to even keep up with what label, who's on what label, but this one was a pleasant surprise. It was $10, and the first song, "I'm Easy," that opens up with, I thought was a good song. This one, a lot of the stuff, I only got to listen to side one. I didn't get to listen to side two, but almost everything on side one was more of a ballad, except for "Finding Her," which was had some country and western elements to it. I even kind of like that song. "Look What I Got" is another one that is a good song on here. This was a really pleasant surprise to find a Boss Skaggs album on the Atlantic label, and what I listened to was pretty good of it, and so I was really pleasantly surprised on this one. Well, even though I've only listened to side one, I think it's already worth the $10 that I spent on the record, and I was just very pleased with that. I encourage, if you're shopping in record stores, that new arrival section sometimes is a gold mine, because it's not as big as going through the A's, the B's, the C's, the specific artists. It's usually just a mishmash of different artists, sometimes different genres. This one record store that I go to, their bin is the equivalent to maybe like 3 crates, and it's usually just a mishmash of music, and it's usually really great stuff in there, and sometimes it's stuff that I'm not familiar with, and can really get a good deal on something that just arrived in. I'll do one more, and then I'll make it a part 2 of this video. Pretzel Logic, Steely Dan. I have all of Steely Dan stuff on CD, and I thought I had a lot of his stuff on vinyl. All I could find was Asia, Can't Buy a Thrill. And so I paid $20 for this. It's not an original pressing. Based on, it's got this mid-70s label. This came out in 71 or 72. That black ABC label is the label that is on the original pressings. But finding a Steely Dan record that's clean, that's not just at some really ridiculous price, is hard to do. So when I came across this for $20, I had to grab it. I'd actually gone over my budget, and I told the guy, I said, well, if this is here at the end of the week, I'll come back and get it. And I didn't even make it out the door. I said, you know what? I'll take it now. I'll just go over budget. I don't want to miss out on this opportunity. So I'll end this video there. There is a part 2. I still have some more records to show. I hope that everyone is doing well. I hope that you'll tune in to part 2 see the rest of this stash that I have recently been blessed with. I hope that everyone has a blessed and a wonderful day. Please continue to be positive, stay focused. Don't let anyone throw you off your game. Let's just continue to move forward. I truly believe that only love can truly conquer hatred. So let's continue to love each other. Let's continue to try to work together. I try not to get too political in these, but I'm from Chicago, and I don't. And even though I live in Indiana, Chicago is half an hour from here, maybe 40 minutes from here. Just keep them in prayer with that whole situation going on with the migrant. I think it's ridiculous. I can't pay somebody else's bills if I can't pay my own bills, and so they somehow got a mayor that's just welcoming folks, and it's. I read on the news where I think it was the city had signed a lease to build just a camp, a tent camp for migrants, and this lease was $91,000 a month, and this place could maybe handle 1,000, 1,500 people. That's really super expensive, absolutely. And so and then the whole city council meeting they recently had. Let's just keep them in prayer. I feel bad for the migrants. But they're here illegally. I believe that we should take care of those who are here legally first, and charity begins at home. So I'll just stop ranting now. I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you.